The questions are yours. I go to the Bible, God's holy word, to find answers. And again today, we have good questions. And let's get to number one right now. One person in our audience asked this question: will we recognize our loved ones in heaven? And somebody else asked the question, what will we do there? Well, of course we will recognize our loved ones in heaven. The great love chapter of the New Testament, 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12 says, now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now we know in part, but then we shall know even as also we are known. Heaven will be the place of perfect knowledge and comprehension. What will we do there? Well, Revelation 22 verse 3 says that his servants will serve him. We aren't given more details, but it is absolutely sure that when we get to heaven, God will give us tasks to do in keeping with our immortal powers. There will be nobody in heaven who will be bored, that's for sure. And now question number 2 for today. What does intercession mean? In Hebrews chapter 7 verse 25. Well, there we read that Christ ever lives to make intercession for us. That simply means that he appears in the presence of God there, pleading his atonement before the Father, and his atonement is eternally complete and perfect and adequate to take care of human sin and human failure. This is one of the great doctrines of the New Testament, that Christ is our intercessor before the throne of God. He represents us there. One great old hymn writer, Charles Wesley, wrote these lines: 5 bleeding wounds he bears, received on Calvary. They pour effectual prayers. They plead for me. And then this line: before the throne my surety stands. My name is written in his hands. You, my friend, have a high priest who ever lives to make intercession for you. And now question number 3 for today. Why are evangelicals so pro-Israel? The person who sent this question to me talked about many Jews who through the centuries have been ringleaders in apostasy and very ungodly. Well, evangelicals are under no illusion that every Israeli is a saint. But we are pro-Israel simply because Romans chapter 11 verse 1 says, has God cast away his ancient people whom he foreknew? And then we read, of course not. God has not cast away his people. And then we turn to Zechariah chapter 14, and we learn that the day will come when Jerusalem will be the head over the capital, over the entire world, and Jesus shall reign. And the Jewish people will come into their own then, and the nation shall be born in a day. And so evangelicals who believe their Bible know that Israel will not be swept into the sea by her enemies, and she will not be destroyed by an atomic bomb. Thank you so much for these questions. I trust the answers have been helpful. If you have a question you'd like me to use on the Bible as the answer, please write it out, send it to me. I'll be pleased to hear from you. I'll get to your question on the air just as quickly as I can. And when you write, all the address you need is simply Faith to Live By, Box 426, Winnipeg, Manitoba, R3C2H6. The quartet now, 2 numbers, Your First Day in Heaven and I Will Glory in the Cross.